What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Marriage Bootcamp. This is Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, Season 19, you guys, episode number 5. The episode was titled Fail to Communicate, you guys. This was a hell of an episode, you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You know, I'm on K Michelle's side as opposed to Little Lyrica and A1. But before we do get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on my channel and are not subscribed, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, let's discuss Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, I have a few takeaways from this episode. And two of the biggest takeaways from this episode for me is the fact that Gangsta Boo is hella, but I've been saying that. Gangsta Boo is hella disrespectful when it comes to Emmett. It's the way she talks to him. She's very condescending. She talks to him as if he's a child. It's just the most disrespectful. I mean, it's just disrespect all around. And I see why Emmett is the way he is, right? And I'll discuss that as we get into the review, right? Then we see Little Lyrica, right? Little Lyrica and actually it's Little Lyrica and A1, right? So Little Lyrica and A1 are talking about the fact that they wanted their phones so that they could check on their son, right? And nothing's wrong with you wanting to check on your child. You know, Little Lyrica's talking about Big Lyrica has had surgery. There's nothing wrong. When you go into these reality shows, especially if you're in a house with people, they take your phones away, right? And in most cases, like Big Brother, or I know for a fact Big Brother, they don't get their phones back until the end of the season, right? So with Big Brother, it's split. It's like some people, the first few I don't know what that noise was. The first few evictees in the Big Brother house, they go home, so they get their phones, right? But if you make it to the halfway point, you go to the jury house, and you still don't get your phone until to finale night, right? So I got it. They want to check on them. She wanted to check on her mom and their son, right? And I get that. Nothing's wrong with that. But my thing is, instead of them doing that, she's showing him some glasses that she wanted to buy that matches her outfit. Then they're on social media together. I'm like, that's disrespectful to the producers. Like, the producers were, nice enough to say, hey, you want your phone to talk to your son, we're not gonna, keep you from talking to your child, right? But y'all abuse the privileges, and it's gonna come back up again later in the episode, right? So then Dr. Ish calls the boot campers down to, the living room, right? So everyone is down there. K Michelle and Caston were the last two there, right? And K Michelle was like, damn, even Little Lyrica and A1 beat us here, right? And when K Michelle said that, Little Lyrica felt some type of way. And I was like, why do you feel some type of way? I mean, she was being, it's like, when you if you are in a group project, if you're in a group and you have a group member that's consistently late, and then the one time that you late and they're on time, you'll be like, damn, you beat me here. And so K Michelle wasn't coming at you in any kind of way. But Little Lyrica felt some type of way. Child, why did K Michelle shade her saying you ain't got no hit records, and you ain't got no fans that's like basically clamoring to see you? I was like, okay. KKK, right? So the day Dr. Ish told them what they're doing today, they're having a pizza party, right? But the caveat on that pizza party is, actually before that, so Little Lyrica, at one point in the episode, they told them so when they were downstairs, right? At one point, Little Lyrica was talking to Rubbin' Pennies, right? So Little Lyrica is upset with Rubbin' Pennies about the previous drill, right? Now, I didn't review last week's episode, but last week's episode was the one where they were what was last week's drill? Or was it this week's drill? No, that's this week's drill. Last week's drill, I can't even remember what last week's drill was. But you guys will tell me. She was upset. Oh, it was the one where she wanted them, the shock treatment thing. That's right, because I just watched the episode this morning. The shock treatment. So she was upset because rubbing pennies didn't agree with the process, right? But that you went on a tangent, having everyone spell out their issues. That wasn't what Dr. Ish or Judge Toller told you to do. So you became judge and jury, and like Judge Toller and Dr. Ish said, she's judging them, right? So she got upset about that. And I'm like, but he and she said, you went and told on me. He technically didn't tell on you. He was talking to Emmett, basically venting his frustrations, and you got in your feelings, right? So she's in their feelings, right? In her feelings. So then Dr. Ish comes on, on the intercom and tells the boot campers to go up to their rooms, right? So I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So we get the boot campers. They go into the room. They close their doors, right? And we see this every season. This happens every season, right? So they go into the room. They're locked in. So at this point, they have 1 hour to get out of the room, right? So what's going to happen is one partner is going to be handcuffed. The other partner is going to be blindfolded, right? And in order to get the handcuffs off the one, they got to get out the door. So I'm going to go down the line of each couple who was blindfolded and who was handcuffed. So, and actually, when you think about it, I think it was all the men that were blindfolded and all the women were handcuffed. Because Mariah Lynn and Rubbin Pennies, Mariah Lynn was handcuffed and Rubbin Pennies was blindfolded. K. Michelle was handcuffed and Casson was blindfolded. Emmett was blindfolded and Gangsta Boo was handcuffed. And I'm almost I think it was the reverse. Little Lyrica and A1. I don't remember who was blindfolded and who was handcuffed. But I'm almost positive it was him that was blindfolded and she was handcuffed, right? So, like I said, they have 1 hour to do this, right? So the one that's blindfolded, they're going to be taking directions from the one that is handcuffed, right? And it's like when you look at Little Lyrica, I don't know how seriously Little Lyrica is taking the process, because, anytime she gets frustrated with A1, what Little Lyrica then does is she decides that she wants to shut down like a child, right? He tells her this, and I get it, right? I'm kind of the same way, but I'm the same way when it comes to an argument, right? I'm not going to argue with no grown ass adult. I don't do arguing. That's not something that I prefer to do, right? If you feel like you're finna sit here and yell at me, argue with me or whatnot, I'm just gonna sit there and look at you. I'm gonna be stoic and just sit there and look at you, because I'm not gonna raise my voice. That's one thing I refuse to do. I'm not gonna raise my voice. Like it's pointless for me to sit here, scream, argue, and yell. Like I look at people when I look at couples when they're in public and they be arguing with each other. I'm like, what do you get from that? Like, what are you getting from that? Like, I just be looking like, what the hell? Like, they about to have a whole accident. 3 people trying to back out at the same time. But I just be looking like, what are you getting from that? Arguing. But hey, like I said, when it comes to Little Lyrica, she is just not paying attention she just shuts down completely. So, and then Gangsta Boo and Emmett, she's getting frustrated with him, but he's the one that's blindfolded, and Gangsta Boo wasn't even, they had a puzzle that they had to put together, right? With this puzzle, Gangsta Boo wasn't giving Emmett any kind of direction, but then here you go, getting upset and frustrated with him, going off on him, talking down to him. And his response is basically no response, right? Because Emmett is a type that'll be like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I don't want to argue with you. So you want to sit here and argue? I'm just going to go over here and do my own thing, right? And I get that, because like I just said, that is my personality. These people are literally about to have an accident right beside me. One person, this guy now just pulled in, and this person's trying to pull out. Child, let me get this video done before an accident happens. So now came Michelle. When Caston was doing his thing, I was like, Kay, what are you doing? Because Caston went into the bathroom because one of their clues was in the bathroom. I'm like, Kay, Michelle, that man literally fell into the tub. You didn't even give him any kind of directions. And that was when I was noticing with a lot of these couples, a big contention for them is lack of communication, right? And I feel like, they say things, but I don't feel like they're actually hearing what their partner is saying. It's just like, yeah, 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 yeah. I feel like it's just, they're basically screaming, arguing, and bickering at one another, right? And not literally listening to or paying attention to what the other one is saying. So I'm going down the line of who all got out the rooms, right? So Rubbin Pennies and Mariah Lynn, they eventually got out their room. I think they were the first one. It was either them or K. Michelle that was the first to get out. But Emmett and Rubbin Pennies, Mariah Lynn got out. K. Michelle and Caston got out, as well as who else is there? There's another couple, right? K. Michelle and Caston, Rubbin Pennies and Mariah Lynn, Gangsta Boo and Emmett, Little Lyrica and A1. Am I missing somebody, you guys? Am I missing somebody? Am I missing a couple? I don't think I am. Am I? Everybody got out. Let's just say this. Everybody got out the room with the exception of Emmett and Gangsta Boo and, and A1 and Little Lyrica. So yeah, everyone got out their rooms except for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward, you guys. So after that, that's when Dr. Ish told them about the pizza party, right? So the pizza party, like I said, we saw this numerous times on previous seasons where they have to do a task together, right? Whether in the pants and the shirt. So they're sharing the clothes. So one person's, left arm is out, another person's right arm is out, right? So it's like, give and take. So the couples had their own assigned tasks, right? So Little Lyrica and A1, they were on the chair duty, right? Rubbin Pennies and Mariah Lynn, they were on the duties of preparing the pizzas and the side salads, right? K. Michelle and Caston, their duties consisted of making the dessert, right? Or the sweets, right? And Gangsta Boo and Emma's duty was basically to set the table, right? The only couple in this process that I can say, actually it's two couples that I can say really did eventually get to the point where they actually did what needed to be done. K. Michelle and Caston, they didn't have any issues at all with this. Rubbin Pennies and Mariah Lynn, they started out rough because at one point Mariah Lynn had a wine glass in her hand, right? She's drinking. Rubbin Pennies is like, why are you drinking? And then, she's cussing up a storm. And he's like, yo, like, stop cussing. So she said, let me out of this, right? She got upset because he told her about her cursing, right? And so so Dr. Ish pulled her to the side and they're having a conversation with each other, right? And I get her talking about the fact that she feels like he's controlling her. He's telling her what to say, what not to say, right? But she also says in the same breath that she feels insulted. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, how do you feel insulted with him saying don't curse? Like, that was nothing insulting. Like, I don't know why she was so insulted by that. Then she talked about the fact that when they were on their last break, she got with this guy who fractured her leg. I was like, God damn, that's fucked up. But I still I didn't understand the insulting part about what Rubbin Penny said. That I didn't understand. But if you guys think it was insulting what he said, you guys feel free to chime in the comments below, right? So then Gangsta Boo and Emmett, right? Gangsta Boo and Emmett, they're having a difficult time with this. And it's more specifically because of Gangsta Boo and the way she talks to him, the things that she says to him. She belittles him. She demeans him. Like, she talks, like I said earlier, Gangsta Boo talks down to Emmett. And I don't know, I don't understand how he puts up with it. And I will say, I will say Gangsta Boo is lucky that she has a man like Emmett, right? Because I don't know any man that's going to sit there and tolerate that and deal with that, right? Because, most men's masculinity is so fragile that the mere mention of a woman talking down to them, they can't handle that, right? So, Lola, Gangsta Boo, you got a good man. You have a good guy. It's just a lot of issues. I know you have issues with his family, but you also got to think about it. You got a terrible way of communicating with the man. I mean, it is terrible the way you communicate with this man. So you need to work on that, Gangsta Boo. Let's work on that. So then, Little Lyric and A1, like I told you guys, Little Lyric and A1 are supposed to be putting the chairs together. She was complaining the entire time, right? So at one point, he was like, okay, they went and sat down. He got her a pillow. I'm like, now, when have you ever saw somebody sitting flat, putting together anything that requires assembly? Either you're literally on a flat surface. He even said that at one point. You're usually on a flat surface putting together anything, right? And my old ass knows that better than anybody. I put together my computer desk. I assembled my cousin's desk. And baby, when I tell y'all, when I put her desk together, I was like, ooh, I really feel old. Because baby, my back hurt the entire day. But so they're supposed to be putting these chairs together. But like I just said, Little Lyrica, she checks out all the time. And that's a big issue, that she checks out, right? So then, they go to the pizza party. The chairs were not assembled, half assembled. Because when Dr. Ish showed him it was time, and I I saw A1, I'm like, them chairs are not together. Because he had the chair assembled, right? But the seat wasn't there. So what they told the group was, with the seats, they decided that the women would sit in the men's laps, right? That's because they didn't put them all together. And even the ones that they put together, they were not complete. Because Rubbin Penny's like, that chair don't look sturdy. And I was with him too. I'm like, I don't know how sturdy them chairs are. And he pulled up the seat. So then, they talked about, the toppings that they put on the pizza and why they put them there. Gangsta Boo talked about decorating the table and that basically she did about herself. Gangsta Boo, if I was Emmett, you would have done it by yourself as well, girl. Because, like I said, it's just the way she talks to that man. It is just abhorrent, the way she talks to him. Like, oh my God. I just don't know how anybody could put up with that. So then eventually, Judge told her, she comes out, talks to the group. She talks to the group, those 4 rules that he gives, right? Listen, understand, validate, stay in the game, celebrate, all that stuff, right? He did that. Judge Tola came out, gave her assessment. I agree with her assessment about everybody. Gangsta Boo, she needs to listen to the way she talks to Emmett. Like, girl, listen to how you talk to this man. Little Lyrica, she checks out, right? I don't know if she made an assessment of K. Michelle and Rubbin Penny's them. I don't remember. If she did, you guys can leave that in the comment section. The 2 takeaways that I got was the same stuff that I said about, Judge Tola said exactly what I'm saying about Gangsta Boo and Emmett and Little Lyrica and A1. So then they go, they're dismissed, so they go to their rooms, right? So Little Lyrica and A1 want their phone so they can check on their son, right? And they're getting upset. And the producers literally said to them, if you go to your confessional, we'll give you your phone. All y'all gotta fucking do is say, okay, I'll go to the damn confessional. Can I have my phone? Can I go to the confessional? Can you make it quick in the confessional? K. Michelle even said, can I have my phone? And the producer said, you'll get your phone if you go to the confessional. K. Michelle said, okay, my friend, you got it. So K. Michelle went into her confessional. The producers talking to her through, I think they're talking to them, like they probably have them on a monitor and they can hear them. or either it might just be a voice record. It might just be their voice over an intercom, right? However it is, right? The producer literally told K Michelle, "I ain't gonna make this long for you," and she's like, "Cool." So then I don't know if K Michelle, I guess K Michelle must have finished her confessional, because we see her with her phone, but then you got A1 and Little Lyrica. He's throwing K Michelle on the bus, talking about, we saw K Michelle with her phone. But K Michelle cooperated with what the producers asked them. You two have lied to the producers. You guys lied earlier in the episode. You wanted to check on your son, but when you were supposed to check on your son, you're scrolling through social media. You're scrolling through social media and you're shopping. And the reason why they don't want you guys on the phone is because they want you guys attentive. Because if they let you guys, if they actually let these people have their phones, you're gonna see this all day. This is all you're gonna see throughout the course of the filming. There's not gonna be, especially with those two, there's not gonna be any interaction, because even when they were in their room, all you saw was them on their phone. They barely communicated. So, and Castor went and told K Michelle, and that's what set things off. Honestly, I was on K Michelle's side, right? Why y'all bringing me up? Y'all late to everything. And then when y'all do get to stuff, y'all want to have Little Lyrica. I'm actually starting to see what K Michelle was saying. And I'm actually believing K Michelle back from season 5 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, when her and Little Lyrica got into it. I am believing K Michelle. I believe K Michelle then, but I'm really believing K Michelle, because you can see it with Little Lyrica. They show up to shit late, right? Then when they do get there, they want these demands met. I see it. I 100% see it. I 100% see it. So that started a whole argument, and the house just erupted. Child, I died laughing at A1 when this fool talking about, "Get my motherfucking phone. Get my motherfucking phone." I'm like, who you scaring, bro? Who you scaring again? If I was a producer, I would have laughed in his face. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it, right? But let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys later on for Ready to Love Reunion Part 1, as well as Love After Lockup. Bye, guys.